Guys, what in the world just happened? The Milwaukee Bucks pulling something like this off is ridiculous and I absolutely love it. As I said in my most recent Giannis video, a lot of times applying pressure to a franchise can yield some pretty good results. Remember that just a few weeks ago, Giannis was out here saying that I have to do whatever it takes for me to win. And if there's a better situation for me to win the Larry O'Brien, I have to take that better situation. Now, not only is Giannis in a better situation, he's in the best situation for himself, finding himself teamed up with one of the NBA's most unique shooters and players. Ironically enough, in my most recent content, I actually said that if I had a say in the matter, that I'd want Giannis to team up with Steph Curry at some point in time, solely because of how perfectly their games complemented each other. Curry is one of the best shooters to touch a basketball, and Giannis is basically as dominant as a modern Shaq. To me, a duo like that playing together felt like something that would only happen in a video game. Well, although Curry and Giannis teaming up didn't happen, this is the next best thing. We really have Giannis teaming up with arguably the greatest deep-range shooter of all time. This guy, Damian Lillard, literally has in the gym range. Last season, Damian Lillard shot three-pointers that were at least 30 feet from the basket so well that he knocked down 35% of them. For reference, Steph shot those same threes at 23.7%, and Trae Young shot them at 34.8%. Dame's shooting these deep shots at 35% is ridiculous. He's shooting three-pointers from beyond 30 feet better than a lot of players shoot regular three-pointers. So as you guys already know, this whole Damian Lillard to Milwaukee thing surprised me. I thought that the whole time that we were seeing all of these leaks occur involving other teams that weren't the Heat, that the Blazers were simply trying to build leverage. Well, I couldn't have been more wrong. I guess that I should have paid more attention to some of those signs that were really right in front of our faces, because Damian Lillard and Giannis have been making it painfully obvious that they've wanted to play together for a while now.
If you were to pick a player that would help you win a championship, who would you pick? I would pick Giannis. I hope he would get to play with Giannis at some point. Those two would be a very, very nice combo. I mean, I would say just the dominance, somebody that's, gonna get to the rim. He's a good playmaker, a good defender, disruptive, and the way he plays complements the way I play.
I feel Damian Lillard on our team. I really believe Damian Lillard, he's gonna close the game out.
Yeah.
The year I won.
You need to get a closer.
Yeah, the year I won, he was the one that took the ball from half court, he was like, boom, and made that shot here like 35.
Evidently, these two wanting to team up with each other was one of the worst kept secrets in the league. Even LeBron James knew that something was up when Giannis chose Damian Lillard first overall in this past year's All-Star draft.
See, Giannis has changed this weekend.
I think so too.
He always talk about loyalty and being loyal.
I know who my
and all that stuff, right? So I knew for sure his first pick was gonna be Drew. So I don't know what's going on with Giannis. Okay, you messed my whole draft board up now.
I'm here to win.
Now, in my defense, even Damian Lillard didn't think that he'd ever find himself in Milwaukee. Also in my defense, I could not have known that Damian Lillard's agent, Aaron Goodwin, privately told the Milwaukee Bucks and Brooklyn Nets that he'd be interested in playing for either of them after trade talks with the Miami Heat went nowhere. Also in my defense, I just never saw the Bucks as a team that had the assets to go out and get a Damian Lillard. I thought that with Portland holding on to Damian Lillard for as long as they did, that they would get back a much better haul than they did. With that in mind, let's see exactly what Portland got back while we go over the details of this league-changing Damian Lillard trade. So in this trade, the Trailblazers would receive Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, a 2029 first-round pick, and 2 swaps. The Suns would receive Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, and Keon Johnson, who is a freak athlete that I've been very high on in the past. Meanwhile, the Bucks would only receive Damian Lillard. The Bucks really gave up Grayson Allen, Drew Holiday, a 2029 first-round pick, 2 unprotected swaps, and got Damian Lillard back. To nobody's surprise, the Trailblazers are already trying to move Drew Holiday, and in fact, he's receiving a good amount of interest. To me, this trade looks even better than it already does for the Blazers if they're able to turn what they get back for Drew Holiday into something valuable. Now, by no means is this a terrible haul for Portland. I was just expecting more. And I don't feel like that's a wild thing to say at all. I can't be the only one who is surprised that a team like Toronto, who was gaining a ton of steam in the sweepstakes, didn't blow this offer out of the water. I get not wanting to trade Scottie Barnes, but OG Anunoby is where I draw the line. Though OG is a better player, this man is slowly turning into Toronto's Terry Rozier. Every time that his name is brought up in trade talks, we're hearing about how the Raptors aren't moving him. Admittedly, I was furious at my Pelicans for not going harder for OG ahead of the trade deadline this past season. That was until I heard that the Raptors declined a trade that included 3 first-round picks for him. Don't get me wrong, guys, OG is a two-way beast, but 3 first-round picks, that's a lot for somebody that isn't a star and already 26 years old. I completely understand overvaluing your players when you want to make a big move, as I do it in fantasy football all of the time, but there starts to become a point where you're doing that to the detriment of your own team if you're actually looking to improve. I really do feel bad for Heat fans in this situation. This time, the Heat were willing to pull the trigger, but the pettiness of Portland had them wanting to do everything but trade Damian Lillard to Miami. Jimmy Butler is so furious about Damian Lillard going to Milwaukee that he decided to say this once the trade went down.
Yo, NBA, man, y'all need to look into the Bucks for tampering. Y'all do. I'm just gonna put that out there. Y'all didn't hear it from me, but I heard it through somebody. Y'all look at them for tampering.
That's a serious allegation from Jimmy, and I completely get it. This was supposed to be the offseason that something big happened for Miami. If I was Jimmy, I would be furious too. Dame going to Milwaukee isn't exactly the best case scenario for Miami, while also comically not being the best case scenario for Portland either. For whatever reason, Portland wanted to act against its own best interests, which makes completely no sense to me and is something that I just can't sign off on. There's just no way that Portland thought that they were going to stick it to Damian Lillard by trading him to the Milwaukee Bucks to play with Giannis while weakening their return in the process. Now, the Portland Trail Blazers aren't the only team that didn't move the smartest throughout this entire situation. As for the Phoenix Suns, where do I even start? You just facilitated a trade that made another contender. On top of this, I watched the Blazers last season. I had Yusuf Nurkic in fantasy. I'll just say that he was not playing an inspiring brand of basketball in Portland. I hate this move for the Suns, but to be fair, I'll try my best to remain impartial going forward, as tough as that may be. I'm telling you guys, there's a lot to unpack with this trade, and we are going to be unpacking it in depth, so be sure to subscribe because that content is coming to this channel very soon. Also, if you're already subscribed, be sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. So after the trade, the Bucks president and their GM would release a statement saying that today is an exciting day for Milwaukee. When you have the rare opportunity to pair one of the premier players in the NBA with a highly versatile roster that has lofty goals, you go for it. And we're thrilled to welcome 7-time All-Star Damian Lillard to the Bucks. It's safe to say that these guys are excited about adding a 32.2 point per game scorer to go along with their 31.1 point per game scorer last season. According to StatMamba, these two are the only players in NBA history to each average 30 points per game in the previous season and become teammates the next season. So Bucks management isn't the only party that would be incredibly pleased by this trade. Soon after this trade went down, Dame would tweet out that the casuals won't be addressed, but the Blazer fans and city of Portland that I truly love will be, and they will be addressed truthfully. Stay tuned. In that same tweet, he'd add in that he's excited for his next chapter with the Milwaukee Bucks. What's funny is that shortly after this tweet, Dame would go on to drop a song called Farewell, and this song would be kind of petty, not really holding any punches. In this song, Dame would say, "I could never be replaced, and they'll know that sooner than later." Some have taken this as a shot at Scoot, despite Dame previously saying that he had no issues with the Blazers selecting him. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I'm happy that this whole debacle is over. And I'm also happy that Giannis now has a new running mate. The timing of all of this happening really is perfect. Giannis just became extension eligible, and Dame is 33 and not getting any younger. Guys, in the comments below, let me know what you guys think of everything. When it comes to contenders, who are you putting above the Milwaukee Bucks? Right now, they're at the top of my list, but there's always a chance that that changes when the season starts. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.